I can extend the joy just a little bit. Like, I understand.
And there's so many little, and there's so many little things that they could have done. I'm not really little, but so many different ways they could have saved it. Like if he had to kill Cersei.
Are we live?
Yep.
Wait, what?
Oh shit. Okay.
We didn't get the stop talking shit warning.
I saw the face she was making, and I was like, "We're live."
Let us go. I mean, you were just talking shit about Game of Thrones, so I figured I'll just let you guys do it. That's a good way to intro.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We are the majority of the NAT30s. I usually have only one of these things in my ear so that I can hear myself talking. So I'm going to do that, because... Okay. So we are the majority of the NAT30s. We're going to be down a couple of players for, well, until they decide they want to come back, which is whenever. So...
We did not banish them.
We did not banish them. They will be back. In the meantime, we are going to restart our main campaign, the Bums of Greenest. The Bums of Greenest do Tyranny of Dragon. So we are going to start with some announcements first. As per usual, thank you to our partners in the Compound Network, the Armory, which is our local game store, and then we have Tabletop Games in Westport and New England Comic in New Bedford. I'm gonna just spam the whole thing here. These are our partners. You can feel free to check them. Definitely hop over to the Compound. They might be live at this moment, streaming something, but when we do eventually get into a live studio at the later half of this year, we will be streaming probably over there. So follow them so that you don't miss us when we go live. First of all, I should have backed up and said hello to everybody in the chat. We have Initiative League, we've got Beluga, A. Falcone, who is part of the Role Players Guild that Beluga's part of. We have, that might be it for now, that's spoken up in the chat anyway, but welcome to you. We use HeroForge.com, their images there, because they are very handy and easy to use. They do not sponsor us at the moment, but we'll see, maybe in the future.
We backed their Kickstarter, so they didn't they quasi
no
kick us something?
They added us to a list of future affiliates when they run their affiliate program, but we don't sponsor. I just put this up there so that Hero Forge does not get angry with us for using images, and these are theirs, and we are not going to get in trouble for using, because I give credit. And we're not selling them, because that is part of the terms of service. Okay, so that's another thing I gotta say. Oh, we launched a Patreon, so for those of you out there who enjoy our story and would like to know more about what's going on behind the scenes, if you become a patron, which is about half the price of becoming a Twitch sub, you will get access to the DM notes. We do post our VODs on there so that you can watch them. If you go to our YouTube channel, you won't be able to find them, but if you are a patron, then you can watch them anytime. You also get an automatic entry into our monthly giveaway every month if you are a Patreon patron, which of course it is a giveaway that anybody can enter as long as you watch the show. You get the free channel points. You can enter as many times as you want. So it's not like a pay for entry type thing. It's just that you get a free entry. Let's see. What else am I forgetting? Oh, so thank you to our patrons that we have so far. We've got Brian K, Eric L, and Mark R. Thank you to those three. We just launched the Patreon, so very excited to have 3 so far, and we'll be adding more stuff. I'm posting on it all the time, so you can always head over and check it out. What else? Word of the week?
Giveaways.
Yes.
You put that.
I put the January giveaway. It is the Art and Arcana hard copy book. Awesome, beautiful book. It is a $50 value, courtesy of Tabletop Games in Westport, and that will go to one lucky winner. We have maybe 15 entries, with almost half of them being Darius Nault. So you're gonna gotta get up on that, people. Give him a run
that
for his
book.
money. Yeah, good luck, Darius. We did our anniversary stream. Hold on, I gotta do my cheer. For our 1-year anniversary of our campaign, which was on the 19th. And we gave away a bunch of stuff. Everybody who has won, if you're in the chat, I am kind of waiting for, I'm supposed to be getting some Boris stickers in the next couple of days, so I have everything packed and ready to go in the room that Urdknot is in. But
Boris stickers! Oh
yes,
my god!
and they're holographic Boris
Oh
stickers,
my
so
Shit.
I wanted
Can
to
I
Really?
get you
wait.
to send me some of those? I'm not even lying. I just want some
I got
for
plenty
myself.
of them.
Okay, I want some. Just now.
Yes, I got plenty of Boris stickers, and I'm just waiting. They should be here within a couple of days. They have been shipped, so once I get those, the dice are in, so I just have to hop over to Tabletop Games to go get those, and then I think we're waiting for the Tasha's, and I think that's Darius Nault who also won that one. So all of that will be taken care of probably over the coming week, and then I'll send it all out. But I didn't want people to miss out on the Boris stickers. So, what else? Anything else?
I think that's it.
The t-shirts and stuff, or I don't know if did you talk about that already? The merch store.
Our merch.
Oh, that's what I
So-
forgot to plug on Wednesday.
Yeah,
Tuesday,
we've got
Thursday, whatever day it was.
Oh yeah, there's a lot to remember, and I should write it down. But so we do
You'll
have
get-
we do have a new store, fairly new. It's maybe a couple of months old now, but we're adding new designs all the time. And I think that there is a sale that just finished, but there's like one once a month or something for a few days, so you can go check that out. Also, oh yes, and the Role Players Guild, they have potentially probably the same anniversary date as us, except they started back in like 2014 or 2012 or something. So they were celebrating as well, which is pretty cool.
Congratulations.
Congrats on making it. Not all groups make it this long, even a year. Let's see. Okay, that might be. Oh, and we are running a giveaway. We hit 1,000 followers on Twitter today, so we are running another Twitter giveaway. If you want to hop over there to that, and you just retweet our image and let people know that we're doing the giveaway, and we hopefully will get even more exposure that way.
TeePublic will be on sale next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Okay, there you go. Next week there's another sale, and you can get some Brew Bottle Tavern t-shirts and stuff.
And a Boris t-shirt.
And a Boris t-shirt, yes. Okay, so
I just want to hear Boris's voice again.
not in Baldur's Gate, it's not allowed.
Aw, no, seriously?
Yeah,
Damn
you can't have any animals bigger than like a dog in Baldur's Gate.
But he's not even like a real animal. He's like a fake animal. Wait, you serious?
Still takes up space.
Aw.
Don't worry, you won't be in Baldur's Gate for very long.
I'm sure Urdknot can break the rules since we're in his joint. You know, come on, Urdknot. Let us have the mystical.
What if I want to
Mystical-
wild shape into like a bear or something?
You'd probably be hunted.
You could do it like in a house or something.
Ah.
All right,
They really
so-
cut me. It's busy.
Beluga wants to know if there's a point by to hear the voice.
not at this time,
I wish there was.
but maybe in the future.
I'll
Okay,
spend
so I'm
points
gonna
on that.
I'm gonna run. We do have a Micaiah serenade later on, so we're gonna try to do a sound check to make sure that works out well. Okay, I'm gonna run the intro and then we will get started.
And you're just like, I didn't do anything.
So I did it. Yeah. So
I typed some words in and then I pressed
I mean, it's all
create.
I literally did that. Yeah, Beluga.
Someone else to do it for you.
Yeah, so if you go to renderforest.com, you can do the exact same thing that I did. Like you can make a whole everything that you see that is video related, I did at renderforest.com because it is super easy to use. You can mess around with it. Like I did kind of, cheat with some things here and there to make some things work differently that get the what I wanted for it to look like. Hey, Dark Dreamer, thank you for the sub.
Thank you.
We passed our January goal. Thank you so much. They are on a 7-month streak, by the way. That's
Impressive.
Amazing.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Dark Dreamer.
So for the newbies to our campaign, just a real quick something happened. I don't know exactly what it was at our living room table, and so everything is all about butts. And so, you can check out the channel points. They're called the Bums of Greenest. It's a thing. So yes, that bum though. Dark Dreamer wants to give Arik the inspiration for the resub.
Oh,
So
thank you very much.
that
Man,
puts
let's
you
get all the
at
glory tonight.
I think the bum thing started with we defeated some kobolds and one of our archers was like, when you're like,
Oh,
how
yeah.
you want to do it? Was like, I think I do an arrow right up his ass.
I think
or
it was
something
actually
like that.
a raider in the town, like the second episode.
Oh,
First, the first.
I knew it
phone
was real early
session
on.
that you had. Yeah. It was, and then it became.
I
Yeah.
feel like Lauren had something to do with that.
Yeah, but I think it actually was Rachel.
She loves
I think it
bums.
was Rachel.
Yeah.
they're
Really?
sisters.
I knew. I was
think
pretty
so,
sure it
'cause
was
she was the
someone
one
with
who did it.
arrows.
It
She
just,
was the one who did
I
it.
think it was one of those inside jokes that just kept popping up. We
Yeah.
just can't figure out where it started now.
So
Now we are the bums.
they are the bums. I tried to have them not be the bums, but
Yeah, you really did. You're like,
tried
you
so
can
hard.
come up with a different name.
you can come up with anything else other than the
few
bums.
of
Anything else.
A few of us tried. A few of us tried.
We tried. I wish we could go back and find out what our different options were that we threw out there.
It was like the nameless.
I think
know
they're in the
that
player
Just like
chat
imagine if
way
we were
back
called that, instead. Like I can't even imagine being anything else except
So you are the bum.
I mean, that's
Um,
definitely our number one, redeemed critty.
Yeah, that's the
That
other
bum
part.
Don't
Well, my
remind
fa-
Have
them.
that bum note without it.
Well, my favorite part is that no matter what, Izzy as DM always ends up throwing in some character going, "Hail, what do you call yourselves?"
Yeah,
And we're like,
and I always will, just to make you guys
uh,
say it. I want to hear you say it every time.
it's like so we cringe and shame. We're like the of
I know.
Greenest.
So,
They're
what
not
did you
shame.
choose to
It's
call
shame.
yourself?
Wow,
He does it proudly.
I am a bum of Greenest.
Maybe he doesn't
Great.
fully understand it, but he thinks it's something to be proud of.
Yeah.
Well,
All
when we
right.
start, if we ever lean into an evil thing, we'll just become the assholes of Greenest. So
There
it's
you
still
go.
kind of, it still works.
I kind of feel like Greenest would want you to take their name out of your mouth if you became the asshole. They'd be like, no, they're just the assholes. Don't say that they're from Greenest. Okay, so also just a audio check for those out in the chat. How's the music? Is it too loud? Can you barely hear it? You can let me know and I will adjust as necessary. So we return to the Bums of Greenest. It has been several weeks, only out of game, not in game. Last we left, you had just re-entered the city of Baldur's Gate and made your way into the lower city Eastway district after following the cult of the dragon and gathering information as per the request from Leosin, Erlenthar, and Anthar Froom, who are currently trying to garner support from the other leaders up and down the Sword Coast, trying to convince them that the cult of the dragon, which had been a joke pretty much up until now, is an actual threat. As an aside, Urdknot had received word that his daughter Dratha was in trouble, and then confirmation via a floating head in the sky that she was in fact dead. And so you returned to the Eastway district, approached the Brew Bottle Tavern, which was dark, on the outside, door closed, something that is not common for the Brew Bottle Tavern as Urdknot remembers it. You approached, unlocked the door, and were greeted by a surprised cousin Garmir Brew Bottle, who has been taking care of the tavern while Urdknot was away. So as you entered the tavern, the six of you, the bums, in full, hey Goldilocks, you, I can't find the six people. Garmir embraced Urdknot, giving him a very tight hug, then pulling back and kind of surveying behind to ensure that he had indeed brought the boy. You see him kind of look and then nod at Urdknot. You entered, he sat you down, and with a heavy sigh, just said that he would get you all some drinks. And that is where we pick up as Garmir sits down next to you. Ooh, I should activate my scene because I get these things ready and then forget to do them. This is just a representation. It is not the actual Brew Bottle Tavern, but
Oh my
so
god, so cool.
Garmir, all my things on? Yeah. So at this, Garmir finally, he slides the tankard of ale across. He's given one to everyone who wanted a drink. And he finally sits down and kind of his hands are like shaking a little bit as he looks at you, Urdknot. And then he takes a sip. And he says, "Cousin, I'm glad you made it back. And I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, but Dratha, she is dead."
Aye, a floating head told me. How did it happen?
He takes another sip of his ale and then places it down. And he says, I believe she was poisoned. But she had arrived here about a week or so ago, worried about you. She did not hear back from you from her last letter, which she actually, at that point, is like kind of reaches down into his pocket and like takes out this crumpled paper, a letter clearly from your daughters. You're used to receiving them, and he like slides it over to you and puts it down in front of you. I will make that available to you in the Foundry. So, I mean, not that he would read it necessarily at this moment, but so he slides that over a little bit nervously.
Take it and slip it into his pocket. And he'd be like, "Foolish child, why did she come this way? She's supposed to stay. It's been so long since I've done his voice. It's all over the fucking place." Her place is at home.
Well, you know Dratha. She wants to be involved. She hasn't been involved in decades. So she came, she was gonna wait for you. When she didn't hear back, she was fine. Tended bar along with Iva and the others while she waited for you. She made herself at home. And then on the morning of the fading 23, I went up to her room. She was staying in the room with the big bed. And I found her on the floor in a puddle of filth, as if she crawled to the door, seeking help. He takes another drink. And I found a note on her back. I searched around for someone to send a message to you right away. I didn't know what else to do. I closed the tavern. I sent Iva and Agatha and Garnet away, and I closed the tavern. I inquired. I did all kinds of inquiring around at the different temples to see if I could bring her back. But resurrection in the city is expensive, and they don't supply the materials. And
What did this note say?
At that moment, you hear there's a knock on the front door. So you're like, he says, hold on, this happens throughout the night. People come in to try and have a drink or find out why we're closed. I've been too afraid to put up any kind of sign because of this. And he flips or like pulls two pieces. As he's standing up, he pulls two parchments out of his pocket and puts them down on the table in front of you, Urdknot. And he heads over to the front door. So as you pick up both papers, you can see you see the Writ of Force with Arik Firesong's name, and at the bottom, the amount of gold, when last you had seen it was at 500 gold pieces, is now at 5,000. And then the note that it reads from the alleged perpetrator of this poisoning reads, "Is this stranger worth the lives of your family, of your unborn kin? Bring Arik Firesong to me, and no further harm will come to those you love. Leave a symbol of your agreement on the tavern door, and further instruction will be given." So, as you read that, you see off at the front door, Garmir has opened it just slightly and is kind of hushed, talking to somebody outside, and you can't really hear what he's saying, but he's kind of like, I don't know, like, you get the impression that he's telling another person, like, there's...
I'd have passed the note to Arik.
Arik will read it, and just as he reads it, his just can't help but grip that letter real tight, just in absolute fury. And I'll let it fall to the table and just wordlessly stare at it. Just
Is it signed by? I forgot. I don't remember the guy's name.
It's not signed by anybody. It's in a handwriting that is different from... So the Writ of Force would not be written by a Port Lord himself. It would be written by probably, one of the people that he hires to do things for him. But it is not in that same handwriting as the writ. It is just kind of... actually, do I have it? I might have actually made this. Hold on. Sometimes I surprise myself with the things that I do and forget that I've done. Is it in here? Oh, hold on, let me begin. Oh, I
Or
did.
not,
I
would-
did make it. Here, hold on.
Oh shit.
Can you see it?
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I thought I remembered making it, but yeah. There's so much shit in here that I forget that I've done. So obviously it only takes a few, less than a minute as Garmir then heads back over to the table and he sits down. And he just a heavy sigh and he says, that is why I wanted you to bring the boy. And that is why I have not left any note on the door or any symbol anywhere. I haven't told anyone except, well, I'll show you upstairs, but I've kept it quiet.
You just look at Eric and say, your enemy has now made a mortal mistake of making me his enemy as well.
I'm sorry, Urdknot. I'm sorry I ever came here. I'm sorry that I've brought this to your home, to your family. We'll fix this.
You've done nothing wrong, boy. Your hand did not do this. Your will did not do this. It was his, and he shall suffer.
This has to be some sort of, obviously some bounty hunter or a contract of some sort.
And Garmir looks and he says, oh, go ahead.
Amsel would never get his hands dirty in this type of fashion. He would never even venture probably outside of Sea Hall itself. And if that new writ of force if it goes up any higher, you guys will turn me in. We have to be very careful.
Some of gold of that amount will attract more people than just contractors.
Garmir nods when Zan speaks, and he actually says, "Aye, we have seen an uptick. That amount of gold is more than 10 years, 20 years, sometimes more for a human, 100 years. Farmers only make 40 gold a year. So we've seen an uptick in inquiries here. Even some of the people that come to the door. And I obviously looks at you, Urdknot, and says, I've said nothing, cousin, but Iva, she likes to talk, and the publicity has been good for business. I told her nothing of what you shared with me. But the writ says it all. She talks it up, and people come looking to find clues as to where Arik Firesong has gone. What does he look like? I don't think Iva knows what you look like. He looks over at you, Arik. But this could have been anyone.
This happened, 4 days ago? Is this date correct on the,
Yes, the date is correct. So it is it is Nighthall 26, the drawing down. Is that right? Hold on. Oh, the fading. Oh, I said the fading. Did I say that wrong? Yeah, sorry, it was the draw... Wait, I think it's called the fading. It is the fading, sorry. It's Nighthall, the fading. So it was
when you have a mini sentence for the name of your month, I can see how it gets confusing.
Yeah, it's the fading is Nighthall.
I don't have my calendar handy. I do have it, but I can't find it right now.
DM, is the damage to the bar that was done in session 0 with the arrows and the blades and the people's faces getting smacked off of it and all that, was that ever repaired?
So looking over at the bar, you can see that the bar itself has been repaired. The smashing on the stone / wood wall with like the stain and everything, that has been left on purpose. Oh no, sorry, it is the drawing down. Sorry, I said the wrong thing. So the drawing down 23. Sorry. This fucking dog, man. Sorry, everybody.
I'm gonna get up from the table and walk over to the bar and just place my hand on it and just kind of rub it, just remembering all that time ago when I first came into this place and how these people did help me when I needed it. And now it seems that in doing so, they've directly due to me. Someone's daughter's died. And Art just feels really, really guilty about that.
Urdknot would turn to Garmir and he says, "Where is she? You have her here?"
And he's about to answer, and then there's another knock on the door, and he's like, "I'll bring you to her. Hold on, one moment." And he stands up, and he heads over to the door, and I'm gonna go put the dog out.
Not gonna lie, I'm waiting for him to like open the door and get blasted in the face. Just like every time I'm like, I'm like, that's gonna happen, isn't it? Like we're closed.
Yeah. Dude, plot twist. It's the Terminator.
Right? Sarah Connor. Yes.
I guess that's one way to introduce guns into your fantasy campaign.
Not only did he go back in time, he crossed the dimensional plane. What's the there's one where it's like a steampunk D&D. I forgot. It's one of the I have it written. Game collections. Where is it? Right. If I'm not mistaken, it's like one with dinosaurs too, right?
Dinosaurs are actually in the world that we're in now.
No.
It's just in a different part of the world called Schult, I believe. It's in the southeastern part of the map. No, southwestern part of the map.
There's dinosaurs here?
Yep.
Mhm.
I think they call them
Oh
thunder
shit!
beasts.
I didn't know we had some dinos here.
That's where my backup
I think-
character is going to be coming from.
I think once Micaiah
See a
sees a
dinosaur?
dinosaur, she might be able to wild shape into a dinosaur.
That's it. Eberron. That's the one that's like.
We need to go see dinosaurs, cause then I can be a dinosaur.
I like how you
wanna
said
be
that.
a dinosaur.
I like how you say it southern wise, like like Mr. DNA from Jurassic Park. And now we can clone dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
I'm a huge dinosaur fanatic.
Dinosaurs.
I'm basically like I'm like a 10-year-old kid.
Yeah, my son was obsessed when he was. I mean, he still loves
I'm
them.
a
Obsessed.
I'm a 10-year-old kid trapped in a 35-year-old man's body. So
I love
like
you.
my backup my backup character is definitely from that jungle land.
So as you
Oh shit! I didn't even know you were back.
hi.
Sorry.
Sorry, we were talking about dinosaurs.
Yeah. D&D. Yeah, sure. Get back to dinosaurs.
Dungeons and
Dinosaurs were more important. Yeah, there we go.
D&D.
I mean, it's D&D, right? So
Right.
still a D. Still counts.
That's for sure. So you guys are all sitting there. Garmir heads back over to the door. He opens it, talks to whoever's on the other side, closes the door. And then he comes back over and he says, "All right, are you ready?
Aye.
I'll bring you to her. So the rest of you join us."
If Urdknot wants company, I'll pay respects.
Yeah, I guess that's up to Ernie.
You may.
Alright.
All right then, come. And he leads you up these stairs to the second floor of Rugadal Tavern. Passing by, as you head up the stairs, immediately to your right is a door that some of you would know leads to the privy. Then when you head down to the left as the hallway, like you go up the stairs and then you're facing a wall. You head to the left, passing one door, which is closed, and heading down to the second door. There's only 2 rooms up there, and Garmir stops for a moment outside the door, and then he opens it and heads in. And you see in the room, so there's one window in this room to the left as you walk in, facing out towards the street. And on the bed is a sheet covering, obviously, the body of Dratha. And as you step in, you see him kind of like circumvent a little bit this stain on the floor. You could see that there is this like dark stain on the wood floor, about a foot from the door. And Garmir looks down at it as he steps by, and he says, "This is where I found her." And then he steps over to the bed, and there's a little bit of light in the room from like a candle, and he just stands there for a moment, and then he like steps back and lets you, Urdknot, take over from there as he steps back into a corner. There is, as you know, you do notice as you come in that there is no smell of decay or death in the room, or decomposition or anything like that. It's just kind of smells like the tavern.
Have you preserved her in any way?
He looks over and he says, "Yes, I did some inquiring the first day, and by the end of the day I was able to, I had to pay some high prices, but I had a cleric cast a spell to keep her from leaving us, or from any dark magics to be used upon her."
You say you think she's been poisoned. Say as I push into the room. Can you tell how she's been poisoned? Was she stabbed? Does she have any wounds?
So he actually gestures for you, Urdknot, and he says, "You lift up the sheet, you'll see."
Alright, he does.
So you lift up the sheet, revealing her face mostly. You can see on her eyes are 2 copper pieces that have a little bit of salt kind of sprinkled on them. You can see underneath, it's like covering the majority of her eye, but you can tell that actually her eyes are open underneath. And Garmir says that the coins are part of the spell to keep her as she is, as you see her. And you can see around her half-open mouth, so her mouth is just like slightly open a little bit. There's this crusty, greenish, whitish, like foam that was like dried, so it's just all like around her mouth. And her eyes, again, are open, and if they were not covered, you can tell that they would be staring up at the ceiling. And what you can see is the whites of her eyes are like this muddy brownish color, and no longer like the white that you would expect to see. And she's just laying there.
This must be a pretty hefty poison, because dwarves are, like, they're not immune to poison. It's hard to poison them. He'd be looking. He'd kiss her forehead, and then he'd kneel down by her head, like the top of her head, and he takes out the both of his holy symbols and just whispers some prayers in his native language for a few minutes.
You see everyone else in the room. You can see Garmir. He just kind of like lowers his head and seems to listen intently to whatever it is that Urdknot is saying, kind of like nodding along with the prayer.
And when he's done, he goes, "How long is this spell for?"
It's for 10 days, but I went out. I apologize, cousin. I spent a lot of money, but it was all an effort to try to bring her back, as I know there are magics that exist that can do such a thing if the body is intact. I was able to find that, as I said before, the temples are willing. But it's expensive, starting at 1,000 gold, and they do not supply the materials required. I found that what is required is a diamond, a single diamond worth at least 500 gold pieces.
What else?
What was that?
What else besides the diamond?
I believe that is it, as someone who knows how to do the ritual. Finding multiple diamonds to that amount is doable, but the spell calls just for one, and it's rare. It's possible.
We just came from a fucking dragon's horde.
So did you find one then? Do you think you have one?
I wasn't looking for one. I'm sure there would have been one there.
And at that point, you actually hear Abaddon. She's like, actually, I looked. I mean, not for that specifically, for this specific reason, but I did look for diamonds because they are very pretty. And I found one worth, looking at it, maybe 300. That help? And Garmir just kind of looks and he shakes his head. Says it has to be a single diamond worth 500. It's possible that there are rich houses that have the diamonds, but I don't know where to begin with that. I spent thousands of gold just the first day alone, asking questions, trying to buy supplies. I asked around to find a way to contact you right away, and I was able to find a local wizard. Eccentric, as you would expect. I paid for the sending spell, 2 of them, to clarify where we were. The wizard said he knows of an abandoned mining town where they mined precious stones, and he would be willing to tell me the location, but only if whoever went there came back with an item that he was looking for. And he reminded me that if the spell to revive Dratha is not done within 10 days, then the only option is a resurrection spell, which he says requires a diamond worth 1,000 gold. It may exist in the mine, but it's even rarer.
How much was this sending spell?
He charged me about 500 per. Due to the urgency.
And he looks at everyone else and then gets a little closer and says, "How much gold is left here?"
I spent about 10,000 gold. All in all. There's still gold. Just, we haven't made any since I closed the tavern, and I spent a lot to try to get you back.
Speaking out of game, because I don't know, who in this world would be able to identify the poison? Would that also be a wizard, or would it be like an artificer? Artificer? How do you say that?
Artificer.
Maybe
Maybe a cleric.
Yeah, maybe a cleric, maybe a rogue who deals in poisons. Maybe somebody in the temple. It would all depend on. It depends on a lot of factors. If it's a common poison, then maybe, a local person who kind of deals black market and that kind of thing, or somebody from like the Thieves Guild. Poisoning people is not a thing that you kind of like proclaim. Poisons are not a thing that you just kind of sell in your store. Unless it's, like cleaning solution that don't drink this, it'll poison you.
I'm just thinking like CSI wise, if we can like see if it's like a unique poison to a specific place.
You might be able to if you knew who to ask. But if you're looking for somebody who knows how to deal in poisons, you're gonna be looking for maybe a wizard, probably not, but somebody who thinking about it, like if you were to have brought this up to Micaiah would probably remember a certain tavern owner who sold her some thieves' tools in El Terrell. Like that kind of person who maybe knows stuff about poisons, but you all don't have a rogue in your party with a background like that. So you would have to do some searching.
Urdknot, I asked your cousin, but was there any outside wounds? Was she hurt? Stabbed? Shot?
I didn't see anything, right? Just the...
Well, you only looked at her face. But if you pulling down the sheet, she still has clothes. But Garmier looks and he says, I didn't see any wounds on her body. And looking, I don't know how much you want to look, but if you want to look, you can make a medicine check.
I don't think I'm proficient in that, but what the hell? Where is the... Oh, there it is.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. I got to, the lining off the bottom door of the whatchamacallit of the heater came off, and I had to re-adhere it, so I gotta go check that real quick. I just remembered. Give me like literally 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to make sure.
Lift up the sheet to see some puncture marks. You know what? That fucking heater. I don't know how those correlate, but...
Yeah, so you inspect her. She looks completely intact. It appears that based off of what you can see, from what you can glean of what's gone on, the crusty stuff on her face, which it's not like there's a ton of it that's just like overflowed and you didn't clean it up. There's just like a little bit that's kind of like left, and it's like whitish green or whatever. That appears to be her cause of death. There's no other punctures that you can see based off your 7 roll. But no obvious stab wounds or anything like that. You see some scars that you recognize and some that you don't, but you haven't seen her in a long time, so.
It's late at night, right? Or is it early at night?
It is about, we'll say it's like 6:05.
Oh, I thought but it is dark, right?
It is dark, yes.
Okay.
Because it is winter time.
This is gonna sound morbid as hell, but when you said poison, I immediately thought, oh, carbon monoxide from the coal stove, and then I remembered, oh yeah, like my liner that so the thing actually
Okay,
seals.
I was wondering how like one led to the other.
it literally like popped into my head. I was like, oh shit, I have to check that because it like had popped off the thing, and I had to use high heat cement to get the liner back in.
Yeah.
so you know, so I don't accidentally kill the entire family and myself in our sleep, trying to keep them warm. So I just want to double check that real quick. Did I miss anything in particular, or
No.
No.
how'd you do?
I was asking what time
How'd you
it
do?
was.
Yeah,
Not
I did
good.
bad, but.
But there was nothing. There wasn't really much to see. Like nothing else could be gleaned from it. But Jesus, there were no
Yeah,
stab
there was no
wounds.
like no blood or anything like that.
No.
Just the ring around her. You said like a green stuff
Yeah,
around
just
her
like
mouth.
some like dried, and only a little bit, but some dried stuff that like what appears to be like a foamy, crusty stuff that was there. Darmir like kind of almost like a. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Arik, remembering when he was shot with a crossbow that was poisoned back when we were with the caravan heading up north. So he's gonna try to put two and two together, and if there's no external bolt, like literal crossbow or arrow holes and blood everywhere, he's going to think that maybe she ate something or drank something or was forced to eat something that had poison in it. And he's gonna look. I'll look and tell everyone exactly that. I'll say it doesn't look like she was stabbed or wounded with poison. I recommend that we watch what we eat and what we drink from now on.
So Darmir looks at you and he says, "Well, the window was closed, but that's also the only way. We went to bed that night. The tavern was closed. I didn't hear anything, but I found the note on her in the room over there." He points over to the stain on the floor.
Oh,
Because I found her
I thought you meant
face down.
shit. Alright. I thought you meant on the door to the outside of the building, like the front door. For some reason,
No, that's where
what I
they
thought.
want us to like put some symbol saying that we're gonna turn you over or something.
Alright, well, I've already said what I said. Or he said
Yeah.
what he said, but
Yeah,
but that was my thing. I thought maybe
So
she like had gone somewhere, ate something, came back, was like crawling back like she was poisoned, and she like
Oh no,
died
yeah.
outside the
So
front.
no, she died out just inside the doorway to the
in the
room that
bedroom.
to the bedroom. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a window in this room.
There is one window that faces. So if you're looking at the Brew Bottle Tavern from the outside, there are two windows on the first floor that are just kind of like on either. Nope, that are on the left side of the door. So, and then the doorway is there, and then above that, on the second floor, there's just one window that faces out, and everything faces out into the street. Those are pretty much, unless you described otherwise, the only windows in the entire building.
I don't remember describing windows, but I just wanted to where I'm sorry. What was this? There was a window in this room, or you said it in the hallway here?
So, hold on, I'll let me bring up a picture of the Brew Bottle Tavern. Gonna pull this up so that you get a better idea.
Even though I'm the one that made it, but I totally forgot what it kind of looks like. If I put any windows, it was
Well,
like
you didn't
very
put
early
any-
on.
You didn't put any windows in the image at all, so I added where windows are, but I
Oh, okay.
figured that there would probably only be a couple of windows. So if you're looking at this, looking at the layout of Brew Bottle Tavern, you can see currently you are in the single room, and to just, I would say, like directly above where it says single room, is a window. And that window overlooks the street. And if you look at the first floor, the ground level, you can see that there would be space enough for like several windows, but there are 2 windows on like underneath that. So,
Okay, so that window is in this room then.
there is a window in this room, yes.
And how large is it?
It's just kind of like a standard window. Like the one, like smaller than the one that's in the room with you, but just kind of like a standard medieval-sized window.
A human could, something human-sized could crawl into it.
A medium-sized, up to a medium-sized humanoid could easily fit through it. A large humanoid would not likely, well, would have a lot of trouble. Like a Goliath type person would struggle, but a regular, like, average human could fit into it. A dwarf could fit into it, but they would struggle from, like, the width.
I'm looking at that window. I say to Garmir, we will board this window up and make sure it cannot be opened. Have you noticed anybody around lately? Face that keeps popping up. Suspicious in any way?
I can't say that I have, no. There's so many that started to come, and especially since the writ was updated and put up on the bulletin board. So many that would come every night. Some new faces, some people who would get bored and not come back.
Whoever wrote this has to be watching, waiting for my return and the symbol on the door.
I agree, cousin. I agree. And then you hear another knock downstairs. It says, I'll be right back. I answer it every time because I want to control what's being said out there. I did not, as I said, I told no one about Dratha's death, murder. I'll be back. So he heads down, leaves the room.
Stop. I'm just going to use what the hell is it called? Minor illusion to impersonate his voice to whoever's at the door, so he doesn't. I don't want him to go downstairs and open the door. I'm just gonna have it sound like whoever's knocking on the door is gonna sound like Garmir saying, we're closed tonight. Come back another time.
Can minor illusion do voices?
Yeah, I can like make like whispers or like make my voice make a voice. It doesn't have to be my voice. It can be any voice or whatever.
Okay, so...
You walked away to let the dog out. I'm like, I just told everybody, like, I'm afraid he's gonna get shot in the face by the Terminator.
No, I heard you. I can see things. I just want to make sure that the minor illusion, because that...
no, too far. It's 30 feet. Well, I don't know. Maybe 30
no,
feet
you're
away, or upstairs,
within 30 feet of the front door. Can you throw that into the... Can you click on that so it goes into the thing?
If you create a sound, its volume can range from a whisper to a scream. It can be your voice, someone else's voice, a lion's roar, beating of drums, or any other sound you choose. The sound continues unabated throughout the duration, or you can make discrete sounds at different times before the spell ends.
Is that a cantrip? Or
Yeah.
So I think how that would have to work is that, like, Garmir can say it, and then you should be able to, like, elevate it. Right?
It says, I create the sound.
Okay. That it's not a big deal for this. I'm just trying to make sure that it's not... For a cantrip, it kind of sounds, like, overpowered if you can create anybody's voice. So you easily create the voice, so Garmir stops. Huh?
It said warlock cantrips. They've got some fun ones.
Yeah. Well, it just... I'll read it just to double check or get some guidance on it, but for this it's not a big deal. So you say it, and then like the person, you can hear somebody outside, you hear them go like, shit. And then like, they leave. And Garmir like stops at the door and turns back and looks at you and says, "It's been going on since I closed us down."
Aye, but now we're back. If the door is being watched, we should be extra cautious.
Perhaps no one should go alone. We should always go with more than one person. No one moves. If somebody gets in, I know I have some experience with people striking from the shadows where you don't expect them. Also, Urdknot, you said you had a back door to this place.
No, there's no back door. There's a...
Or a tunnel.
Are you talking to Urdknot or are you talking to me?
Didn't Urdknot tell us if he had a back door through some like crazy tunnels?
There's like a not trap door, but there's like a door under his bed in the basement that leads to the tunnels under the city.
Is that a way that we could get in and out, if need be? That's Arik asking, or not.
I don't know, DM. How would it be?
Because you don't have a regular
it wouldn't
back
be
door,
easy.
right?
No,
you
there's
have like
there's only the front
door. You have like
door.
a front door.
Yeah.
That's
And
against
the way
That's
the
not
way
the code.
I was gonna
Fire
say,
hazard.
the way I wrote it is that he, because there's tunnels all under the city, but they're mostly dangerous. So he's only like explored a little bit of it, but I never put it in my head like he has like this direct escape route out, because that was never a concern.
I just assumed that's on me. I assumed that Urdknot had some.
Because it's like different like criminal groups like occupy different territories in these tunnels. So if you don't know where you're going, then you like run into like the evil double fisting band of banditos.
See, in my head, I had it like if you it was basically traveling through the sewers as like the Ninja Turtles. Like you could just like pop in, and then like go to like a different part of the city and pop up.
Except you have to fight Foot Ninja all the way.
All right. Sorry, I keep asking things. I
put it there as like an adventure hook, but I'd rather not go down there.
Yeah, everything I ask just ends up running right into a brick fucking wall. I'm like shit. Never mind. Sorry.
I mean, it's a possibility. It's just more. It seems like to me more of a last resort possibility.
Yeah, just the thought was if the front door's being watched instead of going in and out of the front door, of like using like a back entrance type. You know what I mean? That's all. Sorry.
So
he
Garmir
turns to Garmir.
Oh, go ahead.
It's like, can she be moved from here, or does she have to stay here?
He says she can be moved, I think, but if you break the spell, you move her and the coins fall. The spell will be broken.
Alright, very well. She'll stay in this room now. We'll bar this window. We have much to discuss and plan.
In the morning, I can bring you, if you want, to the wizard who did the sending spell. He knows where the mine is, where you can find the diamond. Or diamonds. But he would not tell me. He would only... When I said who you were, who I was, he seemed to know of your name. And he would tell me no more until you went to him.
It's gonna be Aspora Jones. The real one.
That would
Alright.
suck. would
We
suck
would,
bad.
we would he'd say, "Right, let's leave her in peace for now." And in turn to Garmin, he goes, "Again, board up this window." And he turns to the others and he goes, "So we'll go back downstairs."
Okay. Um. So, Garmir is actually going to follow you down the stairs because you don't have boards just lying around, but he can go into like the back room, and like take apart a crate or whatever to try to board up the window. So he follows you down the stairs, and then heads into the back room, and we can take a break there as you all convene at the table. That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
I remembered. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, and then we will return in about, like, less than 15 minutes or so.
15.
Alright. We are back. So, you all come downstairs from the I guess what would that be called? There's like a special name for the room where you like hold a person's body, but where Dratha is being held in the gentle reposed state, and Garmir heads down the stairs after you all, looking to head into the back room there and get some wood from one of the crates. You can hear him. He closes the door to the back room and starts kind of breaking down something to bring upstairs. And as you're all sitting there, there's another knock on the door. This one is more of like a pounding sound. It's like boom, boom, boom on the door. And then you can kind of hear a like a gruff male voice, which you'll have to use your imagination because I can't do them. But and out there going like, "Open up!"
I would cast minor illusion again. But this time, does he sound like he's trying to force his way in, or does he sound like a wino trying to get a drink?
At the moment, it doesn't appear that anybody is forcing. You just heard pounding on the door.
I cast a minor illusion, but this time like a very large dog barks.
Okay.
Like very large dog.
Okay.
The fucking Cerberus.
So this loud dog barking sound. You hear Garmir. He kind of like opens the door to the back and he looks around for a minute. You don't hear anything outside. And Garmir, he's got like a piece of wood, like a 2x4 in his arm, and he's like, "What? 9 hells?" And he looks around, and then he looks at you, Urdknot. Was that you?
Aye. New tricks.
Alright, cousin. And then he heads back into the back to keep pulling stuff together. So you all are in the room. Abaddon and Vidania, they just kind of like sit down at one of the tables, or at the same table. Abaddon grabbing, she's not a heavy drinker, so she like takes the ale and she just takes a small sip. And Vidania doing the same, except always just kind of like looking at her BB on her chest, her little amulet, her golden amulet.
Okay, so we all know her BBs.
Her BB. She's like, "So,
Just the way
Urdknot,
you,
what do you want to do about this?"
Is that Vidania or you?
That was Vidania.
she said it exactly like the way Rachel would say it, so. Exactly the way. We've totally been friends for a long time.
I'm thinking.
Either way, Urdknot, I'm with you. I want to solve this. I want to fix this. Maybe it wasn't my hand that dealt the poison, but my actions brought this to your house, and I'll do what it takes to fix it.
You guys see Abaddon, and she's got like, you see a little smirk on her face, and she's like, "Yeah." She like talks to herself for a second, and she's like, and she takes a sip of her ale, puts it down.
The ghost. Urdknot's just sitting there with his ale. He's half drinking it, and he's just very. You can see the hamster on the wheel turning. He's deep in thought, and stroking his beard. Micaiah hit somebody with a guitar.
That was the noise of the hamster wheel.
That was the noise of you stroking your beard. That was an accident. Excuse me. I feel like I just opened chips and started crunching in the middle of the movie theater.
Nope. Floor is yours.
Mini wheats in the middle of the stream.
Oh, what does that mean? I'm trying to cheer up Urdknot. sing to my boyfriend.
So Abaddon kind of looks over at you, Micaiah, and she's like, "Why don't we give Urdknot some music to think to? Lighten things up a little. Yeah."
You know what?
Sounds like a great
real
idea,
talk
Abaddon.
lately, but I think that's a great idea. You know, I've been writing something. We've been moving along around a lot, but I've been trying to throw something together. This is for my boyfriend. He's been going through some tough times.
They're so sweet.
You got away. Oh, you got away with me. Yeah, I hope you see, oh, what life could be with me. Oh, with my hand on your hips, kissing on your lips. Oh, you drive me wild, baby. And with everything gone, oh, you know, I would still feel the same way, baby. 'Cause you've got away, baby. Oh, you got away with me. Yeah, I wish you'd see, oh, where life could be with me. I know you're still stuck on your past and where you're from, babe, but I know I can take you higher than you've been before. I know you're still stuck, babe, on those people who want you, but I want you more, so baby, let's just go away, baby. You got away with me. I think you'll see, baby, what life is with me. 'Cause you got away, baby. That's it. That's what I got.
That was awesome. That was beautiful.
That was my boyfriend.
He's blushing so hard, and he's not used to that. He's not used to being serenaded so beautifully lately. so yeah, definitely rosy cheeks, and he's just like a little schoolboy. That was really good. That was awesome.
Oh, thank
Sorry,
you.
Graham missed it, but I'll make sure she gets to see the. I'll clip it. I'll clip a bunch of it and put it on
was just gonna
like
say-
Instagram.
I was gonna say you still don't have like a SoundCloud or like a YouTube channel like
No, I
that still.
still don't have any of those.
Why? Come on,
I know.
come on.
Wrong.
You
I
got
know
to.
it's wrong. I know it's wrong. I know that it's wrong.
You know she's doing wrong. Is my hair like sticking straight out right here? It is. Look at that. You can see it in the face.
I'm gonna be honest with you. So I've always been like this, but part of it is like, I'm glad for the attention, but sometimes I get worried, like, if it would like take away the joy of it. Like if something ever really like came of it, and I don't want to ever take away the joy of it. Because
Yeah.
But you'd be giving so many other people joy.
I
That's
understand all
the
that. It's just like,
self-sacrifice of the artist. That's the self-sacrifice.
and I love to give joy. Like I sing for my students, I sing, for you guys, I sing for my family. Like that's enough for me,
I don't. Look,
That's just me.
If you don't want to make it a career, totally fine. But we need.
All right, I'll
the
give you.
fans-
I'll
we
give you
need
some.
sound.
How's that?
Yeah, we need. That's what we need.
You get exclusive access.
I need it on my Spotify so I can have a playlist going. That's what,
So as you look over,
I can get you a CD. I definitely can get you one.
you see Garmir is standing in the doorway, and there's like a little tear that just kind of like
Oh,
falls down his cheek, and then he just smiles and nods, and then heads upstairs with some tools to go board up that window for instruction. His cousin.
at least he waited to start hammering in nails. He didn't know in the middle of her song. He just
Good
So what are you
song,
doing?
lass. Good song.
thank you. So
Urdknot is going to get up and he's going to go downstairs to his chambers,
Mhm.
partly to inspect and see if anything is out of place, and then he's going to sit down and meditate and pray in front of the statue of Henseeth to
Okay.
figure
Sure.
out to do next.
For how long is Urdknot doing that?
Maybe the night.
Okay. So you get up and leave the group, and head downstairs, saying nothing.
He said good job on the song.
Okay.
He doesn't know if it's gonna take how long this is gonna take.
All right.
Communicating with the gods takes time.
DM, something I didn't think to ask. Are the windows down here able to be opened? Did we already talk about that while I was gone?
Yeah. So the three
Are there like
windows.
curtains? Like,
I
are
don't
they
know,
just like
Urdknot, would there
totally
be
open?
curtains?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I'd picture
wouldn't
some
picture
kind of something
curtains.
like what you have in this picture, like no, I don't know. You don't really see much curtainry in
Yeah.
medieval fantasy taverns.
I wouldn't say that
Well-
there are curtains or anything that can be drawn. I would say the windows are bigger than what you see, or at least they're lower to the ground. They're kind of like, they're not up at the top. They're like, you can see in.
I also picture them as kind of those like dirtier windows. Like there's this like they'll let in sunlight, but
Yeah,
it's hard to see in because
Yeah.
they're probably not like
they haven't been
clean enough.
cleaned.
You'd probably have to stick your face right to the glass to like see like blurry figures inside.
Yeah, basically, because Baldur's Gate always has this like fog, at least in the district that you're in, and so although Iva hates it and she like complains about it, there's no point in cleaning the windows because it gets so mucked up so quickly that she would be out there every day and it's not worth her time. So Urdknot has heard many a time Iva complaining about the windows and how they're so dirty, but it's not worth cleaning them.
Eric will do his best to stay away from the windows, anyways.
Okay.
That's why I was asking. Again, another brick wall. I asked for no reason.
Well, so you're in far enough. You feel like with the dirty windows that nobody would be able to make you out. Like, and you would be able to see somebody like at a window. Like, not that it couldn't happen, and it probably does happen as you guys are sitting there. But so Urdknot heads down to go meditate for an unknown period of time. What are the rest of you doing? Oops, I forgot.
No, you're muted, Annie. There you go.
Well, Micaiah and Auric are gonna obviously go have a chat.
You made him spit his tea out.
A little bit, yeah. Told you, Arik's not used to all that. Not all that business.
I said it's bad.
Man.
You can
I
hear.
was gonna say, Micaiah knows that he's got a woman, right?
I mean, yeah.
We've talked about it. Okay.
She don't care about
She's like,
that.
I don't. She's like,
He
I don't
ain't
mind all
here.
that. That was part of the
He ain't
song, didn't you hear?
She ain't here right now. I don't see her right here.
Micaiah aiming to be that homebrew. Look, if they're in a different part
All's
of, if they're
fair
in a
in love
different
and
king,
war, my love.
they say when you were younger, they said, "Oh, it's not cheating if you're in a different area code or whatever." Well, I guess it's not cheating if you're in a different kingdom, different part of the Forgotten Realms.
Hey, Micaiah hung out with Issa and didn't seem to have a real issue with it. She took one for the team.
I did. It was a good one though, so I don't mind. Might be
Can you
itty
do
bitty, but she packs a punch.
Now I really want to hear Micaiah do a medieval bard version of "I Got Hose" or Area Codes by Ludacris. I really need to hear that.
Song. I sing that in my home. I got home.
Hose.
Different area codes. We actually sing that around the house. I'm not even kidding. In real life, IRL, me and my girlfriend make a joke of that. We sing that in the house all the time. Back
Like
and forth.
2 days ago, I ran through the entire song. I was doing dishes. I was just, I've got hose.
That's great.
Well,
Yeah, then
done
we
with
name
that.
all the area codes. We're like 508, 617, 401. I don't know them all, but
Honestly, those are the
774.
only three I know.
those are like the only ones I know. 617, I think that's one.
So you can hear Garmir upstairs. Probably won't take him very long, but he's making short work of that window.
Hey, I'm having him boarded up so no one can sneak in through that window. Any sort of invisible,
I get it.
halfling-sized to human-sized assassin.
Yeah, no, he's doing it. He's doing it. It shouldn't take very long. He's doing it with the You can just hear like, clanging upstairs and banging on the side as he boards it up.
So you said invisible. That's why Arik's like, we should be real careful. I don't know how big the place is on the picture I saw, but it's like all I can think of is this little like invisible halfling like pressed up against the wall, listening to everybody talk and just watching everybody go by, just waiting for their chance.
You do have the Lantern of Revealing on your body.
I
That you do.
boom! I didn't even think of that. Good call. Okay.
He's gonna be
that must
sleeping
come
with the.
play.
And we bought
Yeah.
like fucking 30 gallons of oil for
Oil.
it, like at one
Yeah.
point too. So.
We used it like a little bit, and then it never came back into play. So yeah, well,
Does Urdknot notice anything out of sorts down?
No, so you head down into your quarters, looking around. I mean, are you looking through the whole thing, or are you just looking in
Oh
your
yeah,
room?
he's gonna be meticulous.
Okay.
It's like no one should have been down there. Like Garmir would be allowed down there, but like even like Ava, whoever, like
Iva.
Ava, it's like if something needs to be brought up from downstairs, it would be Urdknot or Garmir.
Even from the storage area? That's
Well,
kind
the
of
storage area is behind the bar, and then
right. Yeah. But then
So
there's
that'd
like
be
those
where,
big
like-
casks.
right, that's stuff that's still brewing,
Oh,
or
okay.
stuff that's like aging.
All right. Yep. So make a perception. Make an investigation check since you are looking specifically for something.
Investigation.
oh, not bad, not bad.
15.
Fitting.
Yeah. So it takes. I mean, if he's being meticulous, it's a pretty decent amount of stuff to go through. So 15, 20 minutes go by of searching around, looking. You don't see anything out of the ordinary. It's clear that Garmir has been down here, or somebody has been down here, moving things around that would have to be brought upstairs, or nobody has been past the door into Urdknot's room. So the only things that you find moved around or shuffled around, or there's any evidence of anybody being, is in the area with the wood barrels and the brewing room. But once you get into Urdknot's living area, that has been untouched.
Okay. And he would then go into his living area, and like I said, he'd get before the statue, and he's got some praying to do.
Okay. Is he praying anything in particular? What's going through his mind at the moment?
I guess he's thinking about who would be, like, about the building being watched and how to hide Eric. He's thinking he will go with Garmir, see what this wizard has to say. He wants to send a message home. Maybe even pay this wizard to do the same mental thing, but just to warn them, because this letter threatened, home. So he would want to send as fast as possible, shore up the defenses or something. And then he wants to also send a letter, maybe via owl or whatever can fly, with a longer explanation.
There's the Griffin Riders that Garmir uses. I forget the name of what I called it, but it's basically Griffin Riders that will send the postage faster through the cities.
Yeah.
That's how he's been communicating with Dratha. When you say home, is he thinking to Story herself, or like Dratha's husband, or to the council of your planes?
The message, the voicemail would be to the council, or someone who has the authority and would obviously know this quick message, so it doesn't get mucked up in the dwarven bureaucracy.
Okay.
It goes right to someone, and they go, shut the gates, get the fucking fire hoses out. What else is he thinking? The wizard, the warnings. I'll write up a note of what I want to send, in the more specific thing.
Mm-hmm. These are just things he's thinking in his head, so... Hey, Initiative Lead, thank you for the raid!
Welcome!
Thank you!
Thank you for the raid. So, you don't have to go into... This is just if he's thinking all of these things out into the celestial, ethereal plane, hoping to get something back, then that's all I'm asking.
Well, those are his immediate thoughts, and then there's prayers of guidance and whatnot, and then he's probably, I don't know when he's gonna be done with this and when people are gonna decide to sleep, but he would come back up, and whoever's there, he's probably going to. He'd wait. He'd have this conversation when everybody's awake, I guess.
Yeah, so this is going to probably be a while. So while Urdknot disappears for a little while, you hear Garmir upstairs, and he's working on the window, but it won't take too long. So what is everybody else doing? The time
Eric is gonna...
Sorry, there's a calendar thingy that maybe you guys can see. Can you see it? On your...
The thing on the bottom?
Yeah, the thing on the bottom. So that time and date is accurate, just for now. So, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, per usual, Ark will lay out all of his weapons and his armor and meticulously clean everything and sharpen everything up. That's what he does it's what he does anyways, but he does it especially in times when he's stressed out or anxious. just like a nerve, you know what I mean? Warrior through and through. He's like, oh, gonna be killing soon, so better have these sharp and clean. So he'll be off to the side doing that.
Zen is gonna look towards Micaiah and tell her that was a beautiful song.
Oh, thank you, Zan.
I
Just wanted to cheer Urdie up. I don't even know what to do for him.
Yes, losing a loved one is very rough, especially when people are close to you become in danger.
I mean, what can we do to help him? Do you know anything?
It sounds as though his cousin might have done a lot of investigating for us. The wizard could lead us towards the diamond that could come in play for her resurrection. I think that is one avenue that we should definitely explore. As for finding out who killed her, it's not the greatest idea, but we do have a means to contacting the person. After we're able to resurrect her, we may be able to set a trap for whoever. If our large friend is okay with being bait, that is.
Over her shoulder, Arik will say, getting that diamond for Urdknot's daughter, even if it kills me.
Micaiah,
I can't let that.
I can't hear you very well.
Well, there we go. I mean, I take it that he's okay with being bait then.
Zan is on the same wavelength as me. Like everything you just said, I was like, she told me to essentially shut up, and I didn't need to tell her all of my thoughts at this moment. But like that was like I was gonna get to that.
Well, I was just like you're basically down there for a long time, where you just left this group, so I wanted to give them a chance to explain what they're doing while you're down there. You know, the 20 minutes that you're shuffling around right now while they're, you know, chatting with one another. So, Abaddon looks at you all, and then she looks over at Arik. She says, like, "Do you think it's safe to eat? And also, are we eating here?"
I'll just
with her stomach.
I'll just grab a handful of trail mix or whatever travel food I have and shove it in my mouth as an answer. Because Arik doesn't trust anything now.
No mozzie sticks?
Was that?
No mozzarella sticks?
No mozzie sticks. Not for him.
And Abaddon is like, "You don't think that like the food that's here would be safe? They've been eating it. He's okay."
It seems as though the poison was directly meant for her. I don't think the food is poisoned. Like you said, Garmy has been eating for days, and he hasn't died yet. I think we're safe for a warm meal tonight.
Also,
Yeah.
there's no kitchen here, so it's not. Sorry, there's not a warm meal. Like, it would be like kind of cold stores food.
Doesn't Urdknot live here? He doesn't eat a hot meal.
Well, it'd be brought in from out. Like what he would keep here would be like he would like order like breads and like pretzels and stuff like that, and like that would be what he serves. And then if he like hot meals would be like something that maybe like he would either like buy like takeout or maybe
So he's
got a
just
small
eating takeout every
freezer or
night.
something.
He's
Yeah,
living that bachelor life.
Yeah.
Well, so as you guys are, Urdknot is not talking to you, but as you all are talking to each other at the table, Garmir is finishing up. It doesn't take super long to board up one window. And he comes down and he says, so, I know you were worried about poison food, but I can make you something. My cousin is not big on cooking, but I made a makeshift, what would I call this?
He has a camping hibachi.
Griddle.
A medieval griddle. I like
Yeah, medieval griddle.
Medieval George Foreman.
Yeah. I can whip you up something. If you haven't had a hot meal in a while. Well, gotta eat.
That would be very kind. Thank you, Garmir.
I would love something.
So he nods, and then he heads into actually the back storage room where he has set up a little area to cook food and stuff. He's been here for months. He doesn't eat the same as Urdknot. So he has like a little area to cook actual food and not order out every single day. And
Better
you
not
can
be
give
going
him-
Urdknot's box of jerky.
I was gonna say you guys don't want Arik to cook? Come on. The last time he cooked, he made you guys something awesome. Remember that stew?
Oh God,
It was like griffin shit and feathers.
it was
and
like
rotten
puke.
vegetables.
We were eating puke. It
So
was good.
actually, before he heads back there, he heads back and then he comes back a second later and he just says, "I don't want to disturb my cousin, but did he happen to mention, does he want me to leave something on the door, or are you still deciding?"
We haven't discussed that with him yet. So I wouldn't until we've had a chance to speak with him. We want to follow his lead. She was his daughter.
And at that moment, there's actually another knock on the door, and he kind of looks at you all, and then he heads over to the door. And you see him. He opens it, talks to whoever's out there, just kind of whispers a little something, and is like, "Oh no." You can kind of hear the person out there is like, "But I want to go." There's like, and he says like a name. It's almost like the way he's talking to this person's like they're a regular. He's like, "We'll be open soon, I promise. Just a little bit more time." Okay. And he closes the door, locks it, and then heads back into the back room. All right. So if there's nothing else, anything. So then after a little while, it's only 6 o'clock, so we can speed up time. A couple of hours go by. Garmir feeds everyone some actual cooked meats and potatoes and vegetables, and you have a drink of the ale that is not being drank by others, so somebody's got to drink it. And you just kind of like have a moment to breathe and slow down for a little while. You were on Skyreach Castle, but that was not the most, hospitable. Thanks for the lurk. Hospitable environment necessarily. It was cold. So eventually, a couple of hours go by. We'll say it's rolling up on like 9-ish, almost 10 o'clock, or not. Comes up from his living quarters, and you can see Urdknot. Everyone's still kind of mostly sitting at the tables. Avedon's looking like she's ready to go to sleep and is kind of waiting for somebody to give her the, this way to bed, kind of. And
Can I go night night now?
Garmir is sitting there. Garmir is sitting there just solemnly drinking. He didn't actually eat anything yet. Or you all see Urdknot emerge.
Sounds kind of sus. I want that I want that Among Us. That, bow, 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 bow. That little sound that they play, and that's
Sounds kind of sucks.
He's been drinking the ale.
Urdknot pours himself an ale. And he sits down at the table. And he looks at Garmin and he goes, I will go with you. See what this wizard has to say. If we can resurrect her, she can tell us who did this. If we fail, we'll send her home, and she'll have a proper burial ceremony. I want to send a message right straight away from this wizard, the way you did to me, to warn them to get their defenses up and ready. Because whoever did this threatened them as well. An attack on one is an attack on all. We'll send a more detailed message later. We need to find the boy in disguise. Evadon, you're from this city. Perhaps you can find someone or purchase a disguise kit.
She's like, yeah, all right. I'll try. Garmir looks at you, Urdknot, and he says, well, it's getting late. I don't believe he'll be awake, but the wizard's name is Asim Egrith. A white dragonborn, very eccentric, as I said.
Dragonborn.
Yeah.
There's things to write down. Shit, I was unprepared.
Could you repeat that name, please?
Yeah.
I wonder if hold on, I'm gonna see if I have my thing up here. Nope, okay. Hold on, I'll put it in the photos thing. And he says he's in the upper city area. Well, on the cusp, I'd say. Before the gate. I can bring you in the morning.
Yes, very well. Also, I think we should open back up. We're being watched clearly. They know we're here already, whoever did this. They're waiting for their signal. And if they are not watching, we need to make it look as if everything is running as normal. Once we have the boy disguised, it'll be easier. But I want you to send word to those rock gnomes that we use for added security. I want them here, and I want them inside. Eyes on everyone.
Guys got his own bouncers. Got your own bouncers.
They're big rock gnomes.
Nice.
He says, but what would we tell them? What are they looking for? If anybody finds out he's here.
It might be safer to keep people out of the bar, at least until we can speak to your daughter again. Give us some sort of idea. She might have an idea who it was that attacked her. If we open the doors, they're just random faces that could be all around us at any time. Any slip up, we have no idea where an assault can come from.
Garmir looks at you and Urdknot and says, respectfully, cousin, I agree. I agree with him.
Very well.
Whoever did this already knows why you're closed. Opening back up, suddenly they're going to become curious, seeing if you're back, if that's their sign that the door is open. They're going to come looking. And Zan has to change his venues real quick.
Aye.
So,
What he says makes sense. I was thinking we could lure him in and capture him. But we'll stay close then.
whoever this
There are many.
whoever this was clearly knows what they're doing. I'm not sure they would fall for something as to get drawn into a trap like that. There's a reason why they said, can you repeat the note one more time, Izzy? I'm sorry.
No,
The
okay.
last half said, leave a signal and contact with more.
I actually can't. Oops, I have it up. Hold on.
Something on the door. I started like a thought as I started speaking and I forgot what the damn note said.
The note says, "Is this stranger worth the lives of your family, of your unborn kin? Bring Arik Firesong to me, and no further harm will come to those you love. Leave a symbol of your agreement on the tavern door, and further instruction will be given."
Whoever this was knows what they're doing. And there's a reason why they said to leave something and they'd give more instructions. I don't think they'd get caught in such a trap. They seem smarter than that.
Aye. We will leave the door be. Not needs water.
So,
Garmir is gonna lean into you, Urdknot, and he says, "If the perpetrator is watching, and they know you are here, but you do not leave a symbol on the door, what do you think that would mean to them?"
Would mean a second attack, but not necessarily on us. That's why I want to send a message home.
I'm not sure I want that on my head or not. It's already bad enough that one of yours has died. To have another, because of me, I don't want that. I'm not sure. Perhaps Garmir can go by himself. He's been coming and going. Maybe with another that you trust. Iva? Maybe?
Go to the wizard.
Yes.
The
With
wizard
your
will not-
instructions.
The wizard will not give me the location. It has to be one of you. He knows who I am. He knows who Urdknot is. It has to be you who show up. Otherwise, there's no guarantees that he gets what he wants out of the deal, unless he speaks to your group.
I will go with Garmir. I will find out what this wizard has to say.
Be careful.
Aren't I always?
No.
Not Missouri. Be careful, please.
Remember that time that we were in a caravan trying to be undercover and you were just like, "Hi, I'm Urdknot Brew Bottle. I'm going up north."
Hiding in plain sight is the best place to hide.
Says all the people that get caught.
Not when you're trying to be an undercover spy and you're giving out your name. The
I'm
only
a dwarf,
person that
not a spy.
ever works for is James Bond. You know what I mean? Trust me, Urdknot is no James Bond.
Who was this James fellow you speak of? I do not know him.
You see, Abaddon gets a little bit uncomfortable when you say Bond. So Garmir looks and he says, "So I'll bring you in the morning then."
Perhaps the rest of us could go looking for supplies while you're speaking with the wizard.
Well, one of you should stay here with the boy. Don't leave anyone alone. Especially him.
Obviously, I'm gonna stay with him. Hello.
Micaiah will keep me company. She'll keep me safe.
I will keep him safe, not just keep him company.
The power. That's what I just said. I said
warm.
safe.
So Abaddon is like,
And-
okay, so in the morning, I'll go look for some disguise. Abaddon, you
takes
want to come with me?
Sam.
And he's like, yeah, all right.
He's leaving?
Nah. I'm gonna stay here.
Come,
Me? Where are you going, Verdania? Since when do you
I
leave?
mean, Abaddon, you know, she's squishy. She might need some help.
Oh, you'll go with Abaddon's going.
I was gonna say, so
how it is.
this is where we split the party and everybody dies.
So with that, unless there's anything else, this is your plan for the next day.
Yep.
All right.
I don't like it. My heart's beating a little fast because I'm like, oh man, we're gonna
So
get murked, aren't we?
the morning, so you all, I assume, kind of do your regular. Garmir stays up. Garmir is going to stay up because he explains to you guys, like, the door's going to keep knocking and you guys need to sleep. So he is really paranoid. You've gotten the impression he's very paranoid about this door. And, like, making sure that it, you know, he answers it, that he is verbally telling people, because he can't put a sign on the door saying, like, we'll be back soon. Like, he's, you know, he's very clearly made that, like, he's gonna stay up for a little while. You all can go to sleep if you would like. But I'm going to just ask, like, are you, Urdknot, the first time you guys came here, you would kind of like set everybody up. People were sleeping downstairs. Some people were sleeping upstairs, but there's only one room available. There are 2 beds in it. Garmir has been staying in that room, but he is willing to give, you know, 2 people the room. So where is everybody sleeping?
Downstairs is the safest.
So everybody's gonna sleep downstairs.
Downstairs in like where we did last time, Urdknot's like brewing spot, like the basement.
Yeah.
Last time, Vidania and Abaddon slept upstairs. I'm gonna kind of leave it. Do you think that they would sleep upstairs again? Or would you, or not, like, strongly require that everybody stay together?
I think Arik would say something.
Okay.
Just because he said that nobody should
Maybe
go off alone.
Urdknot's overly confident, but he's no, because she was killed here. So I was gonna say he's pretty sure this is safe, but he does feel better now that the window's boarded up. But, no, yeah, he would insist everybody sleep downstairs.
Okay. All right. So you, so everybody goes downstairs to sleep, and Garmir stays upstairs. We'll make some rolls here.
Do we want to? I know we're inside, supposedly safe. Do we want to take watches anyways?
I don't think it'll hurt, seeing as how somebody has already snuck in here recently.
Well, Arik will take the first watch. Oh no, yeah, he'll take the first watch.
Okay. So when you say you're taking a watch, what are you doing? Are you just in the basement, like, awake?
Yeah, like, so, are there, like, basement, like, stairs? Is there a way to keep an eye on that door from the basement
Yeah.
stairs somehow?
You would have to sit, I would believe anyway, at the bottom of the stairs in order to keep an eye on the door, like,
Yeah,
that
that's
leads
fine.
down into the basement.
Sure.
And the door that leads into the basement is in like the back storeroom behind the bar.
Oh, so I couldn't see it anyways. The bar would be in the way.
No, you wouldn't even see the bar. It's like the bar. Then there's a door behind the bar that leads to a storeroom, and then in that storeroom, there's stairs down into the basement. So it's like
Alright.
it's
I would
not
just
a
make
door.
sure. I would just make sure that while I'm sitting at either the bottom of the stairs, as long as I got a straight shot towards that door.
Okay.
Is it just me? Nobody wants to stay up and chat with me, talk to me, keep me company, keep me safe, keep me warm.
I
Zan-
always want to chat with you, but Zan probably wants to chat with you. I've been monopolizing your company. I'm going to sleep.
Just like all by my lonesome, I guess.
All
I guess.
by myself.
Zen
Arc's
will
definitely gonna
keep
push again.
Zen will keep Arik company, but Zen will also sporadically patrol the first floor as well.
Okay. So, throughout the night, up until about like 2 o'clock in the morning or so, the door will, like, there's no rhyme or reason. People come knocking at the door. Garmir will go and he answers the door in hushed tones. Some people it's clear that he's more comfortable with and he knows, and he kind of drops names a little bit here and there. But everybody he just tells is they'll be open soon. You notice as the night wears on, he also kind of like lingers at the door after the people walk away, and you can see him like watching them and then like looking back and forth down the street, like paranoid, not wrongly so, but just paranoid stuff that like he's looking to see, and then he'll close the door, he locks it, he double checks that it's locked. Now that you guys are here, it's almost like there's this double, like he's relieved but also now more nervous, because if he's just nervous that if somebody saw you come and you're not putting the symbol up on the door, then what does that mean? Now everything's different. He got used to this like couple of days where he was in a routine and he knew if anybody's watching, clearly nobody's coming in or leaving, so except for me, so everything's fine. So his behavior is a little bit, he's nervous. And eventually he starts to look like super tired as it gets to be like about 2 a.m. and the knocks eventually, there is like a good half an hour. There is no knocking on the door. It's about the time that the tavern would usually clear out for the most part. And so he turns to whoever's up there with him and says like he's gonna go to bed. So he goes upstairs. There are no more knocks for the rest of the night, and you all sleep and wake up in the morning.
Oh, at least we all woke up. That's a good thing.
Except you.
I know, right?
Make a saving throw.
Yeah, Jesus.
So you wake up in the morning, and so just I'm gonna write this down because we are getting to the end here, and I don't want to get into anything too crazy. But what's everybody doing? We've got Abaddon and Vidania, and anybody else can join them. I'm just having them do it because they're not here. Abaddon and Vidania are going to go find a disguise kit for.
Maybe Zan can go with them, and then the three can look for supplies since Abaddon has all the money.
Okay. All right. Urdknot and Garmir are going to.
We really didn't think that one through, did we? She keeps all the money and she loves shiny things.
Okay, and then Micaiah and Arik are staying.
Yes, we are.
Oh, this means that we can do some downtime role play with in chat. Me and Micaiah can in the Discord now.
Yeah,
we haven't done
the
that.
DM
Hey,
doesn't have
everybody
something
who's out
sinister
there.
planned.
Hi there. Thanks for joining us.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
have
so
to
anybody
go
who's
with
in our
sleep.
Discord, we do have a downtime roleplay. The adventure continues, which we haven't used in a while because the adventure was continuing only in stream because things are very, very tense and needed to be you know.
Fucking breakneck pace for a while.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that we're done quite yet because I do want to do Urdknot and Garmir's thing, and then we can have the downtime Zan, Vidania, and Abaddon going on. Maybe even they would be willing to perhaps do it, but if not, I can fill in the blanks there. So Garmir looks to Urdknot as you're heading out, and he says, like, do we want to lock the door or leave them with a key? I don't know what you want to do, cousin.
I will give the 3 that are heading out a key, and then we will lock the door.
Okay. So Garmir hands over his key to Zan, Abaddon, and Vidania. So it is about, we're gonna say it's about 7 in the morning. Garmir didn't want to, like, he feeds you all again. You guys all eat. But yeah, we'll say like 7:30 is about the time that you guys start heading out. So Garmir, I'm gonna just do Garmir and Urdknot for now, and then if you can probably use the downtime roleplay for the others. But Garmir and Urdknot, will you lock the door? Arik and Micaiah. Arik back? Nope, he's not back. Arik and Micaiah.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. You are, you see the door lock, and, your heart's kind of pitter-patter a little bit because now you two are alone in this room with a dead body upstairs, and,
Makes it extra hot.
You're alone and there's a dead body waiting for you in the bed upstairs.
Let's
Pull Cersei and Jamie.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
Jesus. Wow. That was probably one of the most vile things you've said on stream.
Hey, it's not your
Funnily enough, it ties into.
Yeah. Abaddon, Vidania, and Zan, you guys kind of head off in another direction. And Garmir begins to lead you, or not, through the city. To the north. I'm just gonna see if I can pull up. Whoops. Nope, that's what I want. Baldur's Gate notes here. And I can't.
DM, just
Go ahead.
real. I just happened to scroll over the screen for the Discord, and I just saw that it's still set up for the goblins. Just, I didn't want to forget to tell you.
Oh shit! Thanks. I'm gonna. I will fix that for next time because. And I told myself not to forget too. Damn. Thank you.
I knew if I didn't. I know I interrupted. I knew if I didn't say something now, I was gonna forget. So.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it because I have too much to remember and then I forget stuff. So. So you guys, you're currently in like the Eastway area, which is just underneath where it says Lower City. So Garmir leads you, Urdknot, more towards the, how do you even say that? Heapade? How does that say? Heap side. It's small. So he leads you up towards the heap side in the direction of the upper city, but not quite there. So it gets more like rich as you go on, and eventually you come to hold on, I have another thing. There we go. Eventually, so you just walk through the streets of Baldur's Gate. And eventually you come to just outside of just a, your average looking stone home. And Garmir, there's like a little sign that you can't really read. It's just like hanging off of the front door up top, the front awning. And Garmir looks at you and he says, like, he's a strange one, but He has the magics, and you can tell that he's willing to do stuff for coin, so... Alright, come on. So he walks up and knocks on the door. And just kind of like wait for a minute, and then the door opens, and you see before you a fairly tall, dark white dragonborn. Hold on, I've got a picture. What's his name again?
Did you say dark white?
Stark white.
Oh, I was like, dark white, what?
Dark white, like
That's
black.
That's just gray. Dark white would be gray. That's perfect.
Standing there, white
Oh boy,
face.
since he's a wizard, I really hope his voice is like this, because no one would
No,
expect that.
You already heard his voice.
I have.
He's got these green eyes, and he is wearing this this hat that covers like the sides of his head there, like eccentric kind of greens. Maybe I'll switch over to here so people can see what you guys are seeing. So he answers the door, and you can tell he immediately recognizes Garmir, and he says, "Oh, you are back. Please come in." As he looks and sees you, Urdknot, there's like, you can kind of tell there's like a smile that comes to his face, and he says, come in, come. And so you enter into this nondescript, just, there's books everywhere, there's random stuff like flung around. It is clearly he lives alone. One thing that you do notice, Urdknot, as he turns around, and where's Grem when you need her? Just saying. But as he turns around and walks into the room, you notice that he does not have a tail. And it is one thing that pops into your head because you have fought two dragon-like humanoids fairly recently, and they both had these long tails that were like very like strong and clearly part of their bodies, and this one does not have it. So he walks in, you enter into almost like a lounge type living area that he pushes some books to the side after he closes the door behind you, and he says, "So, brew bottle. I assume this is the infamous Urdknot brew bottle of Brew Bottle Tavern. It is nice to meet you. I am Asim Egrith, and I hear you have services that need doing."
I do.
Well, I hope that we can be of service to each other, maybe. Like his weird, like, smile, the, dragonborn type smile, his teeth, like, all sharp looking, and he's smiling at you.
And what makes me infamous?
Well, everyone knows about the smashed head across the stone wall of the Brew Bottle Tavern.
People in this city, they act like one smashed head is a big deal.
Well, you might be even more infamous for the fact that the Flaming Fist did not come and take you away for the act.
I was
As
well
you
within
know.
my rights.
Some may argue differently, but that is not why you are here, is it?
No, it's not. Where's your tail, by the way? Did you lose it in battle?
Just jumps right to it.
So he looks a little puzzled at you, and he says, "I never had a tail. Dragonborn do not have tails."
I've recently encountered 2 dragonborn that did have tails.
He says, you must be mistaken. Urdknot, brew bottle. Dragonborn do not have tails. However, we are, well, close cousins, one might say, to half-dragons who have tails.
Oh, is that so?
It is so.
Good to know.
Yes. 2 different races. Although, I could see how one would fuck that up as the DM and have Dragonborns have tails when they really shouldn't, because it's not actually the way it goes. It's the half-dragons that have tails. So, thanks for feeding that into me for my fixing the lore. That was planned. So he looks at you and he says, "Please, sit, and we may discuss your needs, as well as mine." And Garmir is just kind of like standing there, like nervously, and keeps like looking out one of the windows. Just looking like he doesn't really want to be there, but... So, brew bottle, I am sorry for your loss. I have been informed that one of your kin has met an untimely end. Which is what I assume brings you to me.
Correct.
You may be in luck, however, as I happen to know a location where you may be able to find the materials that are used to bring individuals who are of, I would say, full body back from the dead. However, I would like something in return, which should be easy for someone who is so strong that they can single-handedly smash one's head against a stone wall with a warhammer. And luckily, it brings you to the same place. Are you willing to hear me out? Okay. So he, like leans back a little bit and he says, to the southeast of here, there is an abandoned mining town that was called Fool's Hope. It's been abandoned for about, give or take, 3 years. And I need to find my notes. Where are my goddamn notes at? There they are. So. Okay. Sorry. Getting there. So there were strange goings-on at the mine, where they dug up precious gems and stones. You see, he kind of like fiddles with the flaps on his his hat that he is wearing, and you notice too about him, he's got these like scaly. His skin is scaly, but it has like a little bit of a sheen to it. So he says, most of the gems that were actually excavated probably were sent along. However, the miners did end up leaving in a rush, so it's unlikely that all of the diamonds and other gems were taken. That is, I would say, based off of my research, the closest mine wherein diamonds have been found. It is not easy, as I'm sure your cousin has told you, to find diamonds within the city that the rich would be willing to part with. Oh, they'll give you money. And they'll give you the clothes off their back. But when it comes to diamonds and gems, they hold on to them, and they hoard them. So, it is possible, but if you find a diamond of that value that you want from someone in the upper city, they are likely to charge you. And then also make you owe them a favor. I am just asking for the favor. If you are willing to go to this mine, I would be willing to tell you where it is. But while you are there, I have done some research, and I have heard that there is an orb, perhaps, deep in the mine. In fact, the miners saw it, and I hear one even touched it and heard whispers, and felt as though his mind was being invaded. I would like that orb. I have been doing research and would like to study it. That said, the mine and the town, well, the miners left due to hearing voices. They were overrun, and while they could not see what was attacking them, ghost stories have followed. Would you be willing to do this task for me?
Tell me more about these ghost stories.
All I know is that the miners started seeing things in the mine, started hearing whispers and gibberish that made them feel crazy. They left soon after the strangeness began to occur.
Or not. I was going to look at the rest of his party, but they're not there.
Garmir is there. He's standing kind of holding his arms across his chest. He's just kind of standing there nervously. You've never really seen him like this before, so everything about it probably has shaken him from the fact that it was done in the room next door to where he was. Poisoning, dwarves, your clan in particular are used to bloody battles, but the sneakiness of poisoning and the unknown of it all seems to really bothered him. And then also the fact again that he was so close and didn't save her. Those types of things.
And what would you do with this orb? Should I bring it to you? Will you use it for good or evil?
And again, he looks a little bit confused when you say that, and he says, Mr. Brewbottle, I would study it. I do not know if it is used for good or evil. I don't know exactly what it does. That is why I want you to bring it to me.
And could this orb be the source of the ghosts that drove the miners out?
And again, he does a little smile, and he's like, I have no doubt of it. But they are simple folk.
Do I believe any of the bullshit this guy's spouting?
Make an insight check.
We just lose. Patty.
Yeah. 17.
17? He does not appear to be telling you anything false as far as you can tell from his demeanor. He looks like he believes what he's saying. And he's just talking to you straight up.
So he doesn't seem shady? Does he seem legit, wants to study this, or?
That is what you can gather from speaking to him. He does not appear to be giving you the runaround. He's saying exactly what he believes and is not lying to you as far as you can tell. He says, if you are willing, I would caution you, do not touch the orb. Do you have anything you can hold it in?
How large is this orb?
I do not know.
Could wrap it in something, I suppose. Losing my Urdknot voice.
That would be good. So do we have a deal? Are you willing to go to Fool's Hope?
Does this mean anything to you? He puts his hand up like this. In the way that they salute Tiamat. He doesn't say anything, he just puts his hand up.
He looks at you and he's like, hello? Goodbye? I'm over here. Do you see me? It means many things are not brew bottle. Be more specific.
All I can think of is Pocahontas. Wing Gapo.
You have no response to that?
He looks over at Garmir, and Garmir just like he doesn't do anything. He just kind of looks at the guy like, well, do you have any response to that? And Asim looks back at Urdknot and he says, do we have a deal?
Did I believe his not knowing there?
Roll another insight check.
Oh shit! Nat 20.
Dude, I heard the little dinky.
Yes. He does. I mean, he looked genuinely like, completely like, I don't know what you're doing. Yes, you believe him. He looks like he did not know what you were getting at.
I agree.
Okay, fabulous. So, one moment, please. And he heads over to like a stack of papers. You see him like shuffling through them, and then he pulls out a small like hand-drawn map, but it's a little bit more detailed than just like a random sketch of like a map of the area. And he comes over and he instructs you that the location of this abandoned mining area site is about a 2-day journey to the southeast. He marks it on the map, he hands it to you, and he reminds you again. He says, do not touch the orb until you can bring it to me. Understand that
I understand.
The miners spoke of whispers and other goings-on, those who stated that they saw the orb. So, it is in your best interests to leave the orb within a container wherein your hands do not directly touch it. Within the mine, I cannot promise that there are, in fact, diamonds. I will state that outright. I just know that it is the closest area where there were diamonds. So, do not hold it against me if there are no diamonds there, but please bring me the orb as instructed, as we have agreed.
We have an accord.
Wonderful. Happy travels, Brew Bottle.
One last thing. I require you to send a message the way that my cousin had you send a message to me.
Ah. Okay. Who am I sending this message to?
I don't know the name off the top of my head. Who's alive? We just did this last week
Yep.
too, but
So the head of the two that are no longer alive would be Norzad and Grunka. The two that are at the head of the table now, the elders, are. Hold on. Shit. Second. The two that are at the head of the table are Fardrum and Liznera. The two that are in the middle now, the peak, are Mistmila and Gimrig. And then the two that are the newest members of Urdknot, of the Veer Plains are. Hold on. I've got them.
well, he wouldn't know the newest members.
No, he
and they
wouldn't.
wouldn't know him. So,
No, so
he would
but
send it to one of the. Is it Fardrum and? No, you can only send it to one person. But
so the elders, so the ones who are about your age are Gimrig and Mistmila. The ones who are older than them are Fardrum and Liznera.
yeah, I'll send it to the oldest ones.
Oldest one would be
Oldest one.
Liznera.
Yeah. All right, so they were there, so they would
Yes.
know who I am and everything. Okay, so
Yeah.
they should. Okay.
Fardrum was the one who kept spitting on the floor. Mistmila is the one who you spoke directly to, and Gimrig kind of spoke to you as well a little bit. Liznera, you haven't spoken to all that much, but she is the oldest person in the clan, or oldest council member right now. So you're sending it to her?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, fucking, what's his name? Asim, he looks at you and he says, so I will need a description of the individual, their name, and the message, and that will be 500 gold to do the sending of the spell.
Her name I have already forgotten. Lizfair, something like that.
Liznera.
That's close with Lizfair.
So you can give a general description of her because you sort of remember what she looks like, and he just needs a vague description. So what is the message? And he instructs you. It has to be no more than 25 words. Any more than that is another spell and another 500 gold.
It's a good racket you got going here. Message will be prepare for possible danger.
You see him is actually writing it down.
Prepare
21
defenses.
words left.
Prepare defenses. More details will come along shortly. Stop. Or not brew bottle. Stop. That's what it feels like. Train has been hijacked. Stop. Send reinforcements. Stop.
The Krauts are on the move. Beep, 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 beep.
He says, perfect. And then he gets the spell ready, and he adds a few words here. He says, message to Liznera from Urdknot Brew Bottle. There's plenty of space, so he could do that. And he sends her the message, prepare for possible danger, prepare defenses. More details will come shortly. All right, Brew Bottle. Thank you. Please return as soon as you have the orb.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you. He's kind of shows you the door. Thank you. Takes you out.
I want to know.
Get the
I
fuck
want to know.
outta
I want to
here.
know why he wears that hat. That like Fargo style Canadian hat.
The shitter's full hat.
So you leave the Athene's home, and that is where we will pick up on Tuesday. But we will do downtime roleplay in the chat for we'll see it however far we get with the other members of your party as you all do your own thing for the morning there. So thank you everybody who hung out with us. It is later than we usually go by a few minutes, but we will be back on Tuesday. I might be back on
We've
Monday.
had this going till like 1 o'clock sometimes.
Yeah.
Not late. Yeah, not lately.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
lately.
not lately.
We're out of shape for it.
Well, it's
You know?
like it's the winter too is like, makes it hard to keep going. I mean, I can go forever, but I'm not right. Something right. So we've got. I'm gonna find somebody to raid. So with our peoples, we're gonna actually. It's been a while. We haven't raided TBK roleplay in a bit. So let's actually. You know what? I'm gonna switch back over to our 6 screens, and then I'm gonna find somebody to raid in there on the stuff that I have. I've got a million channels that I don't typically follow. So thank you to everybody who stuck around. We'll be back on Tuesday. Don't forget to use your channel points to enter into the giveaway. You can enter as many times as you want. Let's raid Fabled 42. How about that?
Sounds
Fabled
good.
42. So we're gonna raid them, and we will see you on Tuesday.
Good night, everybody, or morning, afternoon, wherever you may be.
Good night.
Thanks
good
for
morning,
watching,
thanks for
everyone.
hanging out. We'll see
Bye.
you
Whoever
Thanks,
made it to
guys.
the end.
Check out those pics, Dino pics in Discord too. We will. We'll be there.
I read that.
Excuse me, Pix.
I read that entirely too fast. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh god. I was like, holy.
Check out
What do you
those.
say?
It's not that kind of Discord.
I
No,
know.
it can
I
be
will
if you want it to
definitely
be.
check out. I will definitely check out those dinosaur pics, and we'll talk. I'm gonna be like a 10-year-old and be like, "What's your favorite dinosaur?" I definitely
Alright,
will.
we'll see you guys in a couple more days. Have a good night.
All right.
See you
See
guys
ya.
later.